Hey guys, I'm Jason Brewton. I'm the Director of Physical Therapy at Texas Back Institute. The therapist and I have come up with 9 exercises that we call the Spine 9 as a preventative exercises for your back health. Now these exercises are designed for people who do not currently have back or neck pain. It doesn't mean that you've never had back or neck issues ever in your life. It just means that you presently do not have them. And I would like to also say that if any exercise that we do causes pain while we're doing it, that I would ask you to refrain from doing it, or go ahead and let me know and I can go ahead and make modification. Okay? Very good. The first exercise that we're going to do today is called the chin tuck. Okay? And this exercise is designed to improve your posture. And if you think about it during the day while we're at our desk, or we're working over the sink, or cooking or whatever, we're often in this position where our heads are kind of forward in a forward position, our shoulders are kind of rolled, and the longer we're at that computer, the more we get. Okay, so what we're doing with this particular exercise is working on strengthening our cervical retractors or our neck retractors, okay, while we stretch the muscles that are tight and restricting that motion. Okay. So let's go ahead and have a seat in the chair. And the first thing I'm going to have you do is sit up nice and tall. You can do this at your desk chair or any chair at home that has a reasonable back support in it. The reason we need this back support is so you don't sway with your back. Okay? And so what I'm going to have you do is I want you to look straight ahead, and I want you to pull your chin straight in, straight back toward the wall. And then hold it briefly and relax. Good. Okay. Now, what some of you might find is like, what position do I put my head in as I'm pulling back? Okay. We want it level. So think of doing this with a level chin. Okay. We're going to do it 10 times. You can do a little bit of a pause when you get it pulled back, but you don't really have to hold it longer than that for now. Excellent. Good. So if your neck is kind of tight, you may feel like, I need to sway my body. And I want you to try to keep your trunk rigid while you pull just your chin in on a level plane. Excellent. Good job, guys. Okay, very good. We're going to move on to the advancement of this exercise. Jenna, could I get you to demonstrate this on the table for me? And so what we're going to do is I'm going to have you lay down on your stomach with your head off the table about mid-chest. We're at the end of that table about mid-chest. Good. Excellent. And what I'm going to have you do is I want you to look straight down at the floor so your head's level, and I want you to pull your chin up and in, okay, and hold that position. We're going to hold it about 8 to 10 seconds and then relax. Let's do about 3 of those. So you might start with a 10-second hold and then kind of build up where you could do 15, 20, 30-second hold, okay, to build up your endurance and your strength. Excellent. Thank you, Jenna. Appreciate it. So that is a progression from the seated version. You're working against gravity when you're working off the table. The head is having to pull up against gravity. So this is pretty much a pure strengthening exercise, where this one over here is a little combination of strengthening and stretching as you're coming back. Very good. Okay, we're going to move on to our next exercise. I need another volunteer. Michael, I'm going to volunteer you. Okay, we're going to go over to a door frame, and I'm going to have you do a pec stretch. Okay, so what I want you to do is just rest your hands on the door frame. Okay, just a little flared from your body. Put one foot in front of the other, and I want you to lean in without resisting. Just rest your hands there. Okay, lean until you feel a little bit of a stretch across your pecs. So he should be feeling the stretch across the pecs. Some people feel it more toward the shoulder. Some people feel it more toward the middle. Okay, and we're going to hold it 30 seconds. And good, Michael. Thank you very much. Now we're going to step out a second, okay, and then we're going to move your arms up a little bit higher. Okay. Excellent. One foot in front of the other. Now, which foot you put in front of the other, it doesn't really matter as long as it's comfortable on your low back, okay? Excellent. And 30 seconds. Very good. Thank you, Michael. Good, and then we're going to go up. If your shoulder range of motion allows you to go higher, I'm going to have you reach up towards the corner of the frame of the door. And we're going to hold that. And 30 seconds, thank you. Very good. Okay, you can have a seat. Thanks, Michael. Very good. So, how did you feel with that?
It felt really good. I felt the stretch right across here and in my shoulders all the way into my chest.
Excellent.
It felt nice.
And that's exactly what we're going for. Did you have a hard time like not resisting?
I did it first.
Okay.
I had to kind of let myself go a little bit. But once I did, I could really feel the stretch.
That's perfect. That's probably the thing that we find people have the most difficult time with is they want to kind of resist as they're going. And that's not the purpose of it. It's just resting the arms up on the door frame and just leaning in. So basically the door frame is just creating a prop for the arms so you can actually get a stretch. Okay, very good. All right, we're going to move forward. Our next exercise, we're going to lose our chairs, okay? And our next exercise is going to be back on our mat. Very good. Okay, so we're going to switch gears. That was for the neck. We're going to look more toward the low back and the lower quarter here. So we're going to go ahead and lay down on your back on the mat. All right, so everybody's got a towel at home, so we're just using a towel, but this could be a dog leash or it could be a strap. There's a number of straps that you can purchase on the internet that work really good with stretching as long as it's rigid enough where it's not going to move. But we're going to stretch the hamstring, okay? So what I'm going to have you do is we're going to put that on the bottom of the foot, and I'm going to have you grab there. We're going to pull the leg up, and we're going to hold it for 30 seconds. How does that feel, Vicki?
I can feel the pull.
Good, good. Does it hurt your back at all?
No, it doesn't.
Good. I notice you have your opposite knee bent. What happens if you straighten that other leg out? Very good, Jenna.
The pull becomes much greater.
It does, doesn't it? So that's a way that you can make that stretch a little more intense. So if it creates a lot of pull in the beginning, maybe you start with your knee bent, and if you don't have a lot of pull, you may want to straighten that leg out so you get a little more stretch. Very good. And hold. And 30 seconds. Great job, guys. Very good. Okay, let's switch sides. Pull up. Okay, try to relax your neck if you can, Robert, so you don't not straining your neck. Let the ground just support your head. Very good. And hold. 30 seconds. Very good, guys. Okay, let's go ahead and I'll take the towel from you. We're gonna, thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. All right. I'm gonna hang on to one towel because I'm gonna show you guys a modification on this neck stretch if you're a little too tight. So what I'm gonna have you do is lay back on your back, and I want you to grab one knee with your same side hand and pull it up, and I want you to grab take your other hand and grab your lower leg, and we're gonna pull the leg up and across the body, okay? You should be able to do this without twisting your low back, and you should feel this in the buttock and we in the piriformis area. Okay, so Vicki, where'd you feel it? Right there, perfect. Were you feeling it?
Nah, not quite yet.
Okay.
Do I have a good?
Yeah, well, we want to grab here,
Okay.
kind of cradle.
Okay.
And if you're having a difficult time getting enough pull, you can actually add a towel here.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and help you pull up and across. Good, there you go. How you doing, Robert?
Great.
Excellent. Okay, we're going to hold 30 and 30 seconds. Great, guys. Let's go ahead and switch to the other side. Anybody have any trouble?
A little tight, actually, right here.
I'll tell you, that's perfect.
Is that good?
That's perfect because then we're actually hitting the right spot. Okay, we're going to hold 30 seconds. And great. Thank you very much. Good. Okay. The next stretch we're going to do for our back is on our stomach. So let's roll to your stomach. Great. Is anybody familiar with the cobra in yoga?
Yes.
Yes, very good. So with the cobra, you push up and let your back extend and you hold the position, right? With this particular stretch, we're not going to hold the position. okay? We're actually going to do more of a dynamic stretch where we're just going up and down, okay? But what the key to this stretch is to be able to relax your back and your hips and let them sag, okay? If you're tensing your back up and you're not really letting it relax, okay, or you're pushing so high that your hips are coming off, it's too high, okay? So what I want you to do is I want you to relax everything from your shoulder blades down. We're going to push up with your arms like you're pushing your chest up so you can see, like the cobra. Bring it up. Okay. When you feel a little bit of pressure in your back, I want you to stop and then head back down. Okay. We're going to do 10 of these. How's everybody feel?
Feels good.
Good. Does anybody have pain while they're doing this?
I don't.
No.
Okay. If you were to have pain when you're pressing up, just back off a little bit. Don't go as high. Okay. We never want to push into pain. We just want to push to the point of pressure. Very good. Good form, guys. And that should be 10. Excellent. Thank you very much. Good job. Okay, guys, we're going to move on to our back. So let's roll to your back. And we're going to do a spinal rotation stretch. So I'm going to have you lay flat on your back. Good. And I want your knees bent and I want them together. So let's bring the feet together. And what I want to do with this one is let's go ahead and move your hands out to the side a little bit so they're out of the way. And I want you to keep your knees together and we're going to rotate to the right. Okay. Now as you rotate your hips, okay, just let them fall over as far as they feel comfortable. You're keeping your shoulders flat on the ground. That looks great, guys. If you feel your shoulders starting to rise up, try to keep it down. That's the only caveat to this one. Your hip will come off the ground a little bit or off the table a little bit. Okay. Excellent. Okay, and then I want you to go back the other way. On this one, you can hold up to 30 seconds, but a lot of times it just feels good to just kind of hold it 5 to 10 seconds and just work it back and forth. A lot of times we just set a timer for folks and let them go for about a minute or 2 minutes, and that works pretty good at home too. Excellent. Does anybody have any pain with this one?
No.
Do you feel a little stretch?
It feels good.
Okay. Anybody not get a lot of stretch? Okay. Jenna doesn't get a lot of stretch, so I'm going to actually show a little progression to this, like maybe a little deeper stretch, a little more aggressive stretch. Okay, so we're going to take the ball and we're going to put it up underneath your legs. Very good. And I want it up close to you pretty good. Good, excellent. And we're going to use the ball to rotate, so I want you to let the ball roll over to the side. Good. A little more stretch there?
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. Okay, and you can kind of hold it 5-10 seconds. And then go back and forth, about a minute to 2 minutes, okay? And we'll see you later. No, I'm joking. I think that's good, Jenna. Thank you very much. All right, excellent. Okay, let's have everybody go ahead and turn over. And I want you to lay on your stomach. We're going to move into some, we've been stretching quite a bit. We're going to move into some strengthening exercises. Okay, first one I want to do is a plank. Okay, this one is really designed to strengthen a lot of abdominals, but I don't want you to just kind of just do the exercise. I want you to more pull in your navel so you're getting more than just a rectus abdominis contraction, which is your six-pack muscles. Okay, we want more of the corset muscle also activated, and to do that you're going to have to activate it or make sure it's activated. So what I'm going to have you do is I want you to pull your navel toward your spine, okay, and then I want you to come up onto your elbows and we're going to come into a plank. I think most people are familiar with the plank. We're going to raise your bottom up off the ground, and you want it enough, you want to almost make your raise up enough where your back can be flat like a tabletop. There you go. Now go ahead and sag a little bit, Michael. See that this position right here, guys, would not be a great position for a plank. He would not be utilizing the proper muscles. He'd just kind of be hanging out on his ligaments and using his legs and his arms. But I want you to raise your hips up, and now you're activating more of your abdominal muscles, okay? So you can go ahead and come on down. So we're going to go ahead and hold in the beginning. How difficult is it?
How what?
How difficult is it to maintain your position?
It's pretty difficult.
So if it's pretty difficult, I'd just start with about 10 seconds, perhaps 10, 15, and then kind of build up where you can do 15, 20, and then upwards all the way to, you could go all the way to, 1 to 2 minutes, okay? And, some people, go as many as 5, I mean, it just depends on what your fitness level is, okay? So let's go ahead and do it together. I'm going to have y'all hold for 10 seconds, okay? So we're going to tighten, pull the navel in towards your spine, and then lift up your bottom, okay, till your back is flat. Good. We're going to hold it 10 seconds. And 10. Very good. Come on down, guys. Excellent. Okay. Then how did that feel? Pretty good? Excellent. Okay. We're going to do an advanced version of that. And Jenna's going to demonstrate for us. So we're going to lay on the ball, on your stomach, with your hands supporting you on the floor. Okay, initially her feet are going to be on the floor. This is the starting position. Okay, and what she's going to do is she's going to walk out in front of her, and the ball is going to roll down the legs, okay, too close to the ankle. Now, she's strong, so she can maintain good form and walk the ball quite a bit out. Notice how that her back is going to be straight, and go ahead and sag for me, Jenna. And does that feel a little uncomfortable? It does feel uncomfortable because this is really poor positioning. This is good positioning. So as you come out, we don't want to sag our low back, okay? Let's come on back. So it's about a 5-second hold. As Jenna comes back, it's a little bit harder for her to balance and maintain stability on the ball because she cannot see where she's going because we don't have eyes in the back of her head. So it's a lot easier going forward than going backwards, so take it real slow going back, okay? When she gets out there, she's going to hold 5 seconds and then come back. Let's do one more time. Now, one thing I didn't mention is this, I want you to engage your core while you do this. So navel to spine, good job. And then come on back after 5 seconds. Excellent. Very good. Now Jenny goes pretty far out. Most people won't be able to start going that far out. They'll probably have to start just going to the knees, and that's okay. And then you can work your way further and further out as you build strength. Okay. If you ever get pain with this exercise, there's a good chance you're sagging or you're going too far out on the ball. Okay. All right. Excellent.
Good job.
All right, so all I have is cheerleader left. So we're going to go ahead and move to more of an extension-based exercise, and I want you guys to go on your hands and knees. We commonly call this position quadruplex in the therapy world. Okay, I think a good term for this one is also a bird dog, because you'll see that you feel like a bird dog pointing at the game, whenever you do this. But what we're going to do is we're going to lift your right arm and your left leg, so they'll be opposite. So we're going to reach out toward the wall in front of you with your arm and toward the wall behind you with your leg, as if you're making a straight line with your arm, leg, and spine all the way down. Very good. Hold for 5 and then come down. Good. Let's do the opposite. Excellent. So a couple of things that you want to note when you do this one. Okay, a lot of times people won't have the stability in the hips or they won't be paying attention, and the hips will dip, okay, one direction or the other, and they won't stay straight through their hips. So I want you to imagine like you got a rod straight through your hip, okay, that's level, and then another rod that's straight down your back that's level. Good. Excellent. Okay. So some people might find their balance to be pretty challenging in the beginning, and what you can do is just go out and come back until you build up some strength, and then you can start to add a little bit of a hold, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, and then kind of build up to a full 5 seconds. Okay? Very good. Vicky, watch when you do that you don't arch your back too much this way, okay, because then you're coming out of that neutral position. Good. Excellent. Okay, that's better. That's better. Good. Excellent. Any questions on that one, guys? How did it feel for everybody?
I feel good.
A little bit of a balance challenge?
It's hard to...
Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and have, do you mind, Robert, doing this on the ball? I'm going to show you all the progression of this. We're just going to put you right on the ball right here for me, right in the middle. Some of you lay on your stomach, and I want you to put your hands flat on the ground. And so, first of all, we need a proper ball size, and this looks to be a pretty good ball size for Robert. You don't want the ball to be so big that you feel like you're piking, okay? And so, and you also don't want it so small that your arms are way out here. So this looks great. And what I want him to do is I'm going to have you do opposite arm and opposite leg, just like we did when we were doing the quadruplex. You're going to hold for 5 and then back down. So notice how Robert's looking straight at the ground, straight down at the ground. Okay, so his head's nice and neutral. Okay. Good.
Well, that's challenging.
It is going to be a little more challenging than the regular quadruplex for a lot of people because you're putting the ball underneath you and there's a little less stability with the ball. Okay, especially when done on a firmer surface. You can make this easier by doing it on a squishier surface like carpet or a squishy mat. Okay, very good. Thank you, Robert. Appreciate it.
So easy.
Good form, Robert. Our next exercise is going to be a bridge. The reason we like the bridge is because it's going to work a lot of global muscles, and we're also going to be able to activate our corset muscle while we're doing it. So let's have everybody lay on their back with your knees bent. Good. Okay, now if you want to make this a little more challenging, you can put your knees together, feet together. If you would like a little more stability, have your feet spread a little bit, okay? And so I would say if your fitness level is on the low side, then have them spread a little bit. If you're more higher level fitness, then you can put them together, okay? Let's put your hands down by your side for a little stability. And I want you to think of what we talked about earlier, pulling the navel towards the spine, okay? And so if you pull that in, we're going to be activating or engaging our corset muscle. So pull in. Now I want you to raise your bottom straight off the mat toward the ceiling. That was really good, Vicky. And then we're going to hold for 5 seconds. Now keep your core engaged the whole time. And then back down. Good. Did anybody feel like they were rolling their pelvis to come up into the bridge? Okay. Try to just pick your hips straight up as if your bottom's in a basket. Okay, and somebody's lifting you up. There you go. Excellent. Excellent. Good job. Come on up, Vicky. We're going to hold for 5. And back down. Good. So where do you feel this?
Well, I'm very focused on the core,
True,
so
true.
that's-
Did anybody feel it in their hamstrings a little bit?
I did.
A little bit in the hamstrings. You are working your hamstrings. Anybody feel it in their glutes a little bit?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep, you're working your glutes. And then you're going to be working your spinal extensors. Good. So you will feel that. And you will feel just a little bit in your quads. Okay. So we're going to show how to progress this exercise with the ball. Okay. So would you like to give it a go, Michael?
Yeah.
Okay. So typically you can use this with just about any size ball unless it's just tiny. But typically for a guy Michael's height, I like to go a little bit bigger with the ball. So I'm going to grab a bigger ball.
Okay.
All right. So let's have you lay on your back.
All right.
And what we're going to do is we're going to put the ball underneath Michael's legs. Okay. So the more leg on the ball, the easier this is.
Okay.
Okay. So we'll start with a lot of leg on the ball.
Okay.
Okay. And we'll work our way out. Okay. So what I'm going to have you do is I want you to suck your navel in. We're going to lift your bottom up just like you did when you just had your feet on the ground. Straighten out those knees for me. Good. We're going to hold for 5 seconds and then lower back down. The whole time we're going to keep our core engaged. Okay. Back down. Okay. So let's move the ball out a little bit.
Okay.
Okay. And you can, it's kind of in a graduated manner, you can see, how much more difficult it gets as you move that ball toward the feet. Okay. Let's come on up. Very good. A little bit harder?
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay. Then come on down. Okay. Now let's go just the feet. Okay. And you're going to feel a lot of hamstring and a lot more global muscles
Let's go, Mike.
activating.
Woo! Woo.
And you'll,
Get on balance a little bit too.
you'll see that ball try to sway. Yeah, a lot of stabilization muscles at play here. Okay, and then back down. Excellent, very good. So you can see that one's a lot more advanced.
Yeah.
Okay, and requires a lot more work to do. So that one you wouldn't want to start with. You'd want to build up with.
Definitely.
Build up to rather.
I do feel good though.
Excellent. All right, guys, our next exercise is going to be called the cheerleader, okay? And we're going to do this on our backs first because we have the support of the table and we're using gravity to help us. So it's an easier exercise laying flat on your ground. And then we'll show you the advancement after this. Okay, so let's lay flat on your back. And I want you to grab your band about shoulder width or a little bit wider and hold it straight up towards the ceiling. Excellent. Okay, so when we do this, we're going to be squeezing our shoulder blades as we pull the band out to the side. Okay, so let's go ahead and pull the band out to the side, across your chest, mid-chest. I want you to kind of squeeze those shoulder blades together and then slowly let it back up as you maintain your shoulder blade squeeze. Good. Now you can either maintain that squeeze through the entire 5, 7, 10 that you do, or you can release each time depending on how challenging it is for you. Okay? Let's pull across again. Okay? So that's your first, that is your very first motion you're going to make as a cheerleader. Now cheerleaders don't just pull their arms across, they also go up at angles, right? So we're going to do an angle up to the left, and then we're going to do an angle to the right. So bring it back to the middle. Okay? You want to make this a little bit more challenging. You can hold for 5 seconds when you pull it back. Otherwise, as long as you do it in a controlled manner, okay, you're doing it properly. Okay, so across, up to the left, up to the right is one cycle. I would recommend that people start with about 3 to 5 cycles and build up to about 10. Once they get to 10, you can look at maybe increasing your band to a little more challenging band, a little more tension in the band. How's that feel?
Feels good.
Excellent.
Feels good.
Yeah, this one does feel good. All right, so we're going to take it up a notch, okay, and so we're going to do it against the wall. Okay, so everybody come on up. I want you to grab a position on the wall. Good. Make sure you have enough space between you to stretch your arms out. Excellent. So what I'm going to have you do is rest your back against the wall. Step out just a little bit away with your feet and put a little bit of bend in your knees. So your whole entire back and head should be resting against the wall. Good. Okay, this is going to help take any strain off your low back. Okay, and it's going to put it more into your hips and knees. Okay, that are bigger muscles. So what I'm going to have you do is hold the band straight out in front of you, and I want you to pull across first and squeeze those shoulder blades. And you can immediately see this is a little more challenging because you're having to hold your arms out, okay, against gravity. So let's pull the band back to the middle, and then we're going to do up to the left. Good, you all know your left, excellent. And then come down, and then we're going to do up to the right. All right, that's one cycle. That's your first cycle, okay? And we're going to do 3 of them. So let's go ahead and continue. When you progress to the wall, the band that you were doing may get real hard. You may have to back up to less resistance, and that's okay. It's a more difficult exercise. And then a further progression from this would be come away from the wall and do it with no back support at all. Michael, you want to try that? Yeah, everybody can try that.
Sure.
And you can see that that's a bit more challenging. Keep a little bit in those knees. Vicky, go ahead and bend the knees a little bit, and it'll take a little strain off your low back. Good. All right. Excellent, guys. What did y'all think about that one?
I like it.
Was it a little bit more difficult standing?
It was.
Yeah?
I definitely feel it across my back here.
Very good. Okay, well that is the spine 9. Okay, you actually had spine 18 today because you got several progressions. That's okay. So I wanted to show you a basic form of the spine 9 and then a more advanced version because some people are going to be a little more advanced or want to be able to advance when it's time. If you do these exercises daily or on at least on an every other day basis, it's going to help offset a lot of the negative effects on our spine that we incur throughout just our daily living, particularly with sitting jobs where you're inactive throughout the day. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.